You've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
I can imagine where the money goes. But worse are the super PACs that are set up for candidates where they go out and run campaigns like, if you look honestly, Carson in Iowa, being run by a super PAC. Bush all over. Bush now has got to cut back. Because think of this. Here's a guy wants to run our country, and he can't even run his own campaign. And you know what? He's cutting back big. He's cutting back 40%. And everybody's agreed to take a 40% cut. All of his people. I mean, I have like a few people. What do you need these people for? In fact, I'm very proud of something. I'm putting up, and I'll be putting up a lot of money. Don't worry, it's not cheap to do this. But so far, I put up less money than anybody else, and I'm number one. Another guy was... So I put up less money than anybody else, and I'm number one. Other people have spent 25, 30. I think they reported the other day, I put up $2 million, I think. That's a good deal, right? $2 million. I can trade that to one of these other candidates that have spent many times that money, and they're at zero. Zero. You have a couple of them, zero with an arrow pointing less, which means less than zero, and I don't even know what that means. But if you think about it, because that's what we have to do for our country. I'm not doing that in a braggadocious way. I don't care. I'll put up as much money as I need. I'm not going anywhere, that I can tell you. I'm meeting the most incredible people. People like you. I'm meeting the most incredible people. So what happens is I put up, and there was a big story. Hillary's like in for 32 million. Bush is in for Rubio's running out of money. He's got no money. He's running out. He's spent much more than me. He's running out of money and not doing well. All of these people are spending money. And what I'm saying is that wouldn't it be nice if we had a country that would spend the least and be number one? Think of it. You know, it's very funny. I told my campaign people, I have very good people, nice people, great people. But I said, you know, I don't like to talk about how little I put up because it sounds bad. They said, no, actually it sounds good. It sounds good. But the truth is, and I have to say another thing. When you lease a plane, you have to pay it back. So a lot of the money that I spent, I lease it, I have to pay it back because the campaign has to lease. You have rules and regulations. So we go to the FEC and we say, what do you do here? Well, you have to take market value, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's all a process. And you pay it back. So a lot of the money that I'm putting up, I'm paying and then I'm paying myself back. I might be a sucker for nothing. They've never had anybody that owned a Boeing 757 before. It's a little bit of an unusual thing. They've never had it. And by the way, Boeing now is building in China a massive plant. They're building a massive plant because China just put in a big order of planes and they said, you're going to build a massive plant and we're, by the way, going to take all of your technology. That didn't bother me because they take it anyway. You know, they take it anyway, whether you give it to them or not. But China is demanding that Boeing and everybody else build massive plants. So there's no free trade, folks. There's no free trade. There's free trade for us. I call it stupid trade. And I'm a free trader. The problem with free trade is that you need really smart people representing you. Because we are getting ripped off like you. So I'm going to finish a couple of things.
Arrest Obama now! Arrest Arrest Obama now!
We're going to talk about Obamacare.
Arrest Obama!
Think about Obamacare.
Arrest him!
45, 55%. Your deductibles, you have to die before you get any money, and then you're not going to get it. You can't get it. I know a friend who said I had 4 major operations. He still doesn't qualify. You can't get it. It's a disaster. The $5 billion website, think of it. Nobody talks about it anymore. You know, the problem is everybody forgets quickly. You know, the public, and for some reason, they talk about an attention span of a couple of weeks. I'm not going to let people forget. I'm not going to let people forget.
That's right.
And the reason, in all fairness to everybody, the reason you forget is because we have so many other problems. We never win. We just don't win. We never win anymore.
Arrest Obama! Arrest Obama now!
We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to win against China. We're going to win against Japan. We're going to win against Mexico. And by the way, I love the Mexican people, but their leaders are ripping off our country. They are ripping off our country. We're going to win against Brazil and Vietnam. We're going to win. I can take anybody in this massive audience, and I can say, where do you originally come from? Your parents, your grandparents. And they'll give me a name, and I'll say, that country is ripping us off. Everybody is ripping us off. Every country is ripping us off. Every single country. So we're not going to let it happen anymore. We don't win on trade. We can't even beat ISIS. Think of it. We can't beat ISIS.
We created ISIS! ISIS is a U.S. creation! Arrest Obama! Arrest Obama! Fuck you!
Nobody's
You
going
know who's your sign, dude? Freedom of speech, brother. Freedom of speech. Don't touch me. Keep
I'm
your
going
hands
to
off.
talk about my favorite subject, because I love it, polls. I love them. I'm going to talk about it for a second. But one of the things in one of the polls, CNN poll, and I have to be telling the truth, because I have CNN, look at that camera on me, right? And you know what? They never cover the audience.
Dude, we're in dire
Nobody
straits.
has
Trying to
anybody.
chill out.
I got home and I said this the other night.
Yeah, the
and
whole
I could
world
say
watches.
spin and show the audience, and the camera stays right on my face. And I say spin, show the people. When I got home the other night, we had a fantastic crowd in New Hampshire. We had another fantastic crowd, an unbelievable crowd in Virginia. We always have crowds, or overflow crowds like this. And the camera never moves, you know. I really think I'm a handsome guy, but I really want to see the camera. The camera never moves. And I say fan, you know the word fan? And I watch them. And the camera's like, these guys are like steel, because they're told don't move. So I got home the other night, my wife said, how was the crowd? Your speech looked good. I said, what do you mean the crowd? You didn't see it? No. They didn't show the crowd. I heard people, but they never showed the crowd. They just show your face, and that's it. They never move. They do that on purpose.
Yeah, they do.
They're really dishonest people. Where's that Wall Street Journal? Hold it. Where's the Wall Street Journal? Where is the Wall Street Journal? Where? That's called having good people. See, we need good people. So look at the size of this paper. Look how small it is. Remember when it was big and beautiful and rich? You know, they bought the Wall Street Journal for $5 billion a few years ago. Now it's worth $500 million. And then they do an editorial criticizing my tax plan. Thank you. But here's the beauty, because we're going to go over it in a second. So I say, oh, gee, Bush is bad. He's a very nice person. Highly low on energy. He really is. He's low. He's low. He's low on energy. But he's a nice person. By the way, Carson is super low. I don't understand the whole deal. I don't know what's going on. Carson is lower energy than Bush. I don't understand what's going on, because we're going to talk about the fact that for the first time in 100 days, I had a poll that said, I'm in second place in Iowa. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, only in Iowa. The rest were killing. And we'll talk about it. So, actually, we'll talk about that for a second, and I'll show you what they like, just to show you how dishonest these people are. So the polls come out, and I have great news, little bad news. I mean, you know, I'm entitled to a little bad news, right?
Yeah.
My company's unbelievable. We're doing well. We're going to put that same brain power. You know, when I said I was going to run, everyone said, oh, probably not, because he won't want to file, because maybe he's not as rich as people think. So when I filed, I was much richer, much richer. So I built a great company. Very low debt, tremendous cash flow, some of the greatest assets in the world, and I'm not bragging. I'm only saying it because that's the kind of thinking we need to run our country. Oh, do we need that? These people. So, I get the news on Friday. Great poll, ABC Washington Post just comes out. Big poll, ABC. Well, I can't do better. ABC Washington Post, right? I'm killing everybody. I'm at 32. Way up from the poll. In New Hampshire, I get this incredible poll. I think I'm 20 points above number 2. Great. Nobody wants to say that. In New Jersey, I'm killing everybody, including the governor. I'm at 28 or 29. The governor, who's a nice guy, he's a friend of mine, Chris Christie, he's at 5. Whoa. In Nevada, I'm number 1 by so much, it's embarrassing. I won't tell you how much, because it's embarrassing. But here's the thing. In Nevada, just came out, I'm number 1 with Hispanics, because they know I'm going to put people to work. Hispanics last night at Doral. You know Doral, it's in Miami, it's a great place, one of the great places. I took it was a sick puppy. And a man came up to me. I mean, everybody always make money with Doral. The Wall Street guys did buy it and sell it 3 years later, make $100 million. Buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. Then the market crashed. Number 1 in New Jersey. Number 1 in Florida. Trump is number 1. Rubio way behind. I mean, you talk about a guy who's sweating. Now he's really sweating. He's a very ambitious guy. He was very disloyal. I have to tell you about Rubio. He was very disloyal to Bush because everybody admits that Bush was his mentor, right?
9/11 was an inside job! Talk about 9/11, Trump!
And maybe it's Bush's time. So until we got to really know Bush and watched him perform, we all sort of liked him. I liked him too. What's not to like him? Okay? Oh, yeah. Putin is saying, oh, I love Bush. Putin will love Bush. And he'll love Hillary. Will he push Hillary around? Will he push Hillary around? Oh, Hillary. So anyway, so they all said that Rubio will never run. He's a very ambitious guy, so he decides to run. So those two guys are fighting like crazy, and I'm laughing watching them fight. So I'm number 1 in Florida, number 1 in South Carolina by a lot, number 1 in North Carolina, number 1 in Ohio against another very good guy named Kasich. He's a good guy. He's the governor of Ohio. I'm number 1. Everybody said, oh, if you use the governor of Ohio, you'll win Ohio, but I'm number 1 by a lot. It's not even close, right? You know that. So I'm number 1 in Ohio. Listen to this. Number 1 in Massachusetts. But listen to the number. Now remember, we started out with 17 people. Too many. It's ridiculous. I mean, why don't like 10 of these people just get out? They have no chance. So ridiculous. They think it's good for their brand. I think it's